sometimes we feel we know them. We feel we understand. We think we have been there, so we understand and know everything they are going through and where they are. They try and hide the stain, but they can't. But can they bear the spring? All of a sudden, they refer to us as old folks. Without Calvary, there's only one. We who were also teenagers few years ago. Like you, some may worship. Such is life. What joy do they bring? They try and hide the stain, but they can't. But can they bear the spring? See where will we be? Hi, Gabriel. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Great.
I'm fine.
Great.
I'm kind of excited.
You are excited. You look it. Yeah. Janice, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Great, great. I can't see Sherman. Are you there? Yes, there you are. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. Thank you for joining us this morning. How are your parents doing?
They are quite excited, mixed with nervous.
Oh, why are they nervous?
First time being on radio.
Okay. Same for all of you?
Yeah.
Sherman, you too?
Yes.
Okay, well, don't worry. We're just having a conversation. This is not an interview. You don't need to crack anything. Just the same conversations you have amongst yourselves. That's all we are going to be talking about. And this conversation is set up so that parents who are listening will be able to, understand their teenagers from the perspective of the teenagers themselves. So relax. Don't be nervous. We will be fine. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
See where we be without Calvary. There's only one God. That's our God. There's no one like you.
Okay, so I'd like to start by, we're into the conversation already. If you're joining at 0244340437, it's our WhatsApp line, so you can share your thoughts with us. You can share with us on Facebook as well at Joy997, same on Twitter. And Dennis, are we on Instagram? There as well. And then we will try to activate the phone line on 0302216541 so you can join in the conversation. I'd like to say a very big thank you to Parkojo. He's been very, 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 very helpful. Always helpful when we need to have these conversations. All right. I'd like to start. So there's only one male amongst us, so I will start with you, Shriman. What's the biggest thing on your mind right now?
It's probably the exams that are now coming. IGCSE, I'm in grade 10 now. So I have been focusing on my education more than anything else right now.
Okay. Exams. When is it coming up?
Next year in May.
Okay. That's pretty close. Are we confident?
Quite.
What's the scariest part of that?
The whole thing, because it is a lot of hard work you have to put into your exams before you can actually fare through it well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some subjects which you don't quite get well, and you have to focus much more on them than the subjects you are actually passionate about.
I see.
So the thing is that you have to balance all the subjects.
And that's the biggest thing on your mind right now.
Yes.
Okay, you did say than any other thing. I will come back to find out. Okay, so apart from that, what are the other things on your mind? But I will come back. Gabriel, how about you?
Right now, I don't think I have one big thing that's like looming the way it would be if I were in like grade 10 about to write my IG.
What grade are you in?
I'm in grade 9.
Okay.
So I guess we just got to high school in a sense. So we just started a new, not exactly new, but a higher tier education system type something. So I don't think I'm particularly nervous about it rather than getting ahead of it. So most times I'm trying to stay on top of my work that's one of the things that always like keeps me okay and not like stressing. I just try to stay on top of it rather than keep it behind.
All right,
That's
beautiful. And you, Janice?
I would say what my prime concern is right now is the well-being of the world with this pandemic and
Mm.
what's going on all over the world with the wildfires and the revolutionary movement, Black Lives Matter. It's sometimes a little overwhelming to think of people going through all these hardships, and I'm just in my room listening to music or chatting with my friends. So sometimes it's a little it's a little stressful trying to keep up with what's going on. But aside that, would also like to add that school is also a main priority. So I like to keep that um something I like to keep that something I pay more attention to and give more attention.
That's very interesting. That for a teenager, that's what bothers you the most. But why?
Because sometimes we get in our own bubble and think we are alone, something happens at home or there's an issue and you are so focused on your little problems. It's like you feel so tiny in this big world. And
Oh.
once you step out of that box, then you begin to realize that there's so much more going on than your test you didn't do well on
Mm.
or whatever that's going on. So I try to stay updated mostly because of interest. I find it very interesting and also it's something to do. It brings up interesting conversations with my parents and it's the world you're living in. You have to be quite
Concerned.
concerned with what's going on in it. So
I was just going to ask you, and you brought that up. So, who do you have these conversations with when you feel so bothered about, the happenings around you? You talk to your parents?
most times, yes,
Great. Means you have a pretty good relationship with them.
I would say so.
Do you talk to them about everything else?
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no, not really.
Okay, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. Let me come back to you, Shimon. I really wanted to find out, yeah, this is exams is topmost. What are the other things?
Um, I'm very passionate about sports. I
Okay.
enjoy playing table tennis, and I enjoy watching football. Um, and like right now, I don't really get time to do all my side activities. So it really um, ponders me sometimes. I actually ponder about it sometimes that is there any way how I can balance my education with my extracurricular activities?
Mm.
And when I talk to my parents about this, they tell me that after your IGs, you have time to do all of this. So
Okay.
right now, you should try and
Focus.
put more effort into your education, and after that, you get time to do everything you want.
And does that make sense to you?
At first, no. When I go and think about it in my room, then yes, it
It
does.
makes sense. Okay. So is that the focus now? Focusing on education more now and hopefully get back into your extracurricular activities?
Yes.
Okay, so they're right. Great. Gabriel, before I come to you, I will go back to Janice to find out. So, apart from, talking about pandemics and things that are happening around the world and all that, what don't you talk to your parents about? Or why don't you talk to them about everything?
Because there are some things that we'd like to keep private or some things that don't seem to be a big issue. It's not something that's serious that to the extent where I feel I need to confide in someone. And sometimes it's just you want to deal with things yourself. You want to handle it because you feel capable um of managing your emotions and your thoughts. And I mean there are also some things that we don't see eye to eye on
Mm-hmm.
and there are some things that you already know what they'll say when you tell them. So you might as well not.
Not go
But
say it at all.
yes, but essentially It's quite easy to talk to my parents. It's just you have to pick the right time and know how to say what you want to say, and then you're golden. So yeah.
I see. Gabriel, would you say, and I'll be asking all of you, would you say that your parents really and truly know who you are?
I would actually say so
Okay.
because I am quite vocal, not just about like how I'm feeling and stuff like that, because sometimes I do keep to myself a bit, but when there's something wrong, it's not too difficult to reach out and be able to talk to them. So one thing I am very thankful for is that they know how to also give me my space and allow me to process things my own way, and then they also know when to come in and be like, okay, what's happening, blah blah blah, and then so it's an ideal support system for me. So
Great.
I think they know who I am, the things I like, what I don't like, etc. So they know how to
Are there things
parent.
you keep away from them?
Um, I don't know if I would say that. Obviously, there are some things you don't share everything with your parents because, like, naturally you're a teenager.
The
But
teenage life.
I don't think I would say there are things I keep away from them from
Okay.
my parents.
You don't keep anything away from them at all.
I do,
I will. Yeah. I mean,
but
they
not.
know the things they have to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe we won't be talking about those things specifically, but I would want to find out why you think there is the need not to go telling them everything.
Um, because there's also some growth you also have to do on your own, and also naturally, when you're going through something, you don't. The first instinct isn't to tell your parents. For me, it's not. Oh, let me go and maybe no, let me go and tell my mom what has happened. Blah blah blah. So you think about it, you consider it. Sometimes you're a little like skeptical or afraid, like, oh, maybe I can't say this, maybe I shouldn't say this, maybe they'll be disappointed, etc., etc. But when there's something that I'm like, okay, I need to go and
Then,
talk, go and have a conversation about this, ask these questions, blah blah blah, then I can.
okay, great.
So I think it's more of me believing I'm so mature that I can handle it myself,
Mhm.
and then me also deciding, okay, maybe I should,
Talk about this.
yeah,
Okay, great. Do you see them, sorry, worrying about you sometimes?
yeah, definitely.
At what times do those come up?
Maybe if I'm like, at the beginning of online school, well,
Mm-hmm.
at first when online school started and everything, it started off as, okay, you have 1 week off. So when we had 1 week off, everybody was so excited because for everyone, school is like it was also in the middle of the term and everything. So in the hustle and bustle of school, 1 week break is like it's like amazing because you
Mm-hmm.
have time to yourself, you can relax, everything. And then it became 2 weeks because at that time I wasn't doing anything. I would wake up, watch TV, like being very unproductive. The second week went almost the same, except when it was time. I thought it was time to go back to school, and then they extended it until online school suddenly started and it looked like this short fun break wasn't so short and fun. So at that time I wasn't really in the school mindset yet because I had just taken like a long break. So when they saw me like going back and watching TV, I saw them worrying about me. And then so my dad would ask like, "Oh, have you done this?" And then so you have to do this, and then it kind of just got me. I wouldn't say it got me back immediately because of course I still took my time because like it takes a bit. But at some point, I was like, okay, let me instead of going to school from my bedroom half asleep, I would wake up because I think many people did that. I would wake up, get in the shower, go sit down, and have a class. So I think that was when they were like, oh,
They were a bit
you know,
worried.
yeah.
We will be talking about online school and how all of this is even affecting your social lives. We'll talk about it in a bit. Shiman, do your parents really, really know who you are? Or
My
there's a
parents,
hidden part to you that they don't know about?
my parents are my backbone. They are the only people who support me at all times.
Okay.
And I am quite sure they know me perfectly. I don't hide anything from them. If I have any problems which I feel that they need to know, and it is I can't solve this myself. I can't go through these atrocities myself. Then I will ask my parents to come and advise me, help me with maybe some random topics in the world, but they will always come forward and help me with the various subjects and topics I'm interested in.
Great, great. Now, Gabriel, have I come to you with the same question?
Yes, please.
No, I mean, Janice.
No, you haven't.
Okay, great. So on to you now.
I'm not as I don't think so, or I don't agree. I feel they do know aspects of me, but there are some things that one I am figuring out, discovering myself. So I wouldn't say that I know myself, but I don't I don't feel that they know me as much as they probably think they do.
I see. Is it deliberate? Are you deliberately keeping, I mean, that side of you from them?
Well, initially no. It's just there's things about you, and I mean with work, with everything. Sometimes there's not enough time to actually sit down to figure out who your child is or who your daughter is. But I mean, they do know things about me. They do know what I like, what I dislike, and what I find funny, what I don't. But in general, to just say that I feel my parents know me, I think that would be a lie.
I see. That's interesting. Are you sure they won't be surprised hearing you say what you're saying?
I feel they probably felt it coming, but didn't think I would say.
Okay, great. I think that a lot of parents, um, a lot of parents think they know their children and think that, oh, I have, built very good relationships, and so I really know my child very well. But every now and then we get surprised, and you're wondering, this little girl or little boy I was nurturing a while ago, look at them now, and they tend to surprise us every time. I have a teenage, daughter too. She's 14. Only yesterday I was shocked at the conversation we had, and what I realized. I noticed I was a bit lost. Yeah, I noticed I was a bit lost, but you quickly have to figure it out, and find yourself in a different place and be able to support, especially so when they come to you, because now probably you guys are overwhelmed. All the things you think you could figure out on your own, you realize that, okay, at this point in time, I'm unable to figure it out. And so you have to reach out to your parents. How about your friends? Do you talk to your friends also as much as you talk to your parents? Gabriel, you might want to take that.
Um, Talking to my friends, I wouldn't say I always refer to like maybe the heavy hitting stuff, like the things very like personal and close to me, because I wouldn't say I'm the most trusting person. So I feel like sometimes you want to keep like your personal information separate. It also helps that I have a sister, so that is
Okay.
like, and she's like only about two. She's about two. She's 2 years older than me. So and we have a really, really, really good relationship. So it
Right.
is a lot. She's like my outlet, who you can tell anything to. Sometimes you feel like, okay, I can't tell my parents, but if you can't, your sister. I think my sister is the one person who knows me out of anybody, even my parents, because we've been through everything together.
Great.
So if there's something going on, she will pick it up or notice, etc. So that's nice
Okay.
for me.
Shimon and Janice, where do friends come in?
I think the friends come in when it's something very, you know, easy and you can just do it with your friends. And it's especially when it is about your friendship and things like that, which things about school and things like that, simple stuff. That's when friends come in, and I think
What are some of these simple stuffs?
um, maybe you have some problem with something you didn't understand in school, I think that your friend would teach it better than if you go to your parents. And there are some things like um, like social life and the things that you can't actually go to your parents and say directly and things like that. So those are the times when um, friends come in.
Okay, I will come back to that question. How about you, Janice? How about friends?
Friends, I agree with Schumann. It's personally, I don't feel 100% comfortable telling my friends all my personal issues or even some of them because there's some things you just like to keep to yourself, you like to keep private, and you never know what happens. You don't want to tell everything to someone and then something unfortunate happens, your friendship doesn't go well, or that person tells someone else, and then it becomes this whole drama. But there are some things you also tell your friends, like you could discuss current affairs. If you watch a TV show that the both of you have in common, you could talk about that. Like you can converse with your friends and feel free talking to your friends. But there's some certain things that I would say are out of line. You don't go discussing family issues like my mom did this, my dad did that. You don't go talking about very sensitive matters. You don't talk about other people to your friends. You keep your friendship with someone, your friendship with someone. It doesn't have to involve other sensitive issues. That's my opinion.
Do you have older siblings too?
No, I'm the oldest.
You are the oldest. Okay, great. If you don't mind telling, how old are we?
I'm 14. I'll be 15 next month.
Okay, how about you, Gabriel?
I'm 14. I turned 14 this year.
Okay, and you, Sherman?
I'm 14.
Okay, so we're all 14, 14, 15 thereabouts. Um, we're teenagers, we're very smart, we're in school, we have friends and all that. Um, just briefly, have we started kind of liking people around us and, having emotional attachments towards the opposite sex somehow?
I don't think it's something that began in teenage years. Everyone grew up with, well, as far as I'm concerned, everyone had their own childhood crush. Whether that crush knew or didn't, it's that person definitely existed.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, to answer your question, I would say yes. Maybe not everyone has that specific person that they like, but you definitely start looking around. I mean, with your raging hormones and all that, that's one way to channel your energy. But it's just a silly childhood thing. Sometimes it does um, go further. Some people do marry their high school sweethearts, but essentially it's just a teenage thing. It's normal, and I feel sometimes parents get a little too worried about it. Hey, see, I like you like this boy, you like this girl. It's normal. We all will go through that phase in life. So to
It's
answer your question,
normal.
yes.
Okay, so is that one of the things that you don't go talking to your parents about? Is that one of the sensitive things?
Well, I wouldn't just get up and go to my mom and start discussing someone, but we do talk about it sometimes, and we do talk about it. It's not a hard conversation to have based on its frequency. We talk about it quite often at very random, strange times, but you get used to it, and essentially, you learn that your parents might not be as difficult or tough to talk to as you thought. But yes, we do talk about it, um, and they don't seem to approve completely, but it's not anything. So there's really not much to approve of.
Okay. When you say it's really not anything, what do you mean?
I mean, it's a crush. If you like someone, you like someone. You can tell your child, your daughter, or your son not to date, but has if
Have you been
someone
told
is
that?
attracted to
Have you
someone,
been
pardon?
told that?
I wouldn't say directly, not not verbatim like that, but they have sort of implied it somehow with what they say. It's usually somehow metaphorical. It's coded, so you have to decipher it for yourself. But yes, I guess I have.
Okay, I mean, I have two more questions to ask you. Why do you think that, I mean, your parents, especially, haven't been upfront with this conversation? Why do you think that it is shrouded in some kind of, mystery, the metaphorical approach and all that? Why do you think that way?
I actually disagree. They are quite straightforward with this topic. It's not a taboo to say I like someone. In fact, my mom would jokingly come and ask my brother, "So who is your girlfriend?" As it's just a joke. It's not something you have to take so seriously. I mean, unless you have reason to believe your child is engaging with someone who you feel is negative influence, or your child might
Mm-hmm.
potentially do something that would later regret in life. I feel it's not an issue you have to take to heart. You don't have to go to bed thinking about it. It's just affection towards someone, and sooner or later your child will be grown, and you'll be wondering why your child isn't married. So I guess it's a step forward.
So, what are you advising parents to do if we realize that our daughters or our sons are beginning to, have crushes on people? We should just, relax about it, huh?
Yeah, um you shouldn't take it so technically. Like, you shouldn't assume
Yes.
what your child is doing. I feel some parents think they know their kid, they know what their child is doing. Like, if you think your child is the rebellious type and she likes someone, you might have your own thoughts. Hey, she's probably doing this. I need to check her chat. She's doing that. You should talk to your children about it. I feel at a certain age, this is a conversation every parent needs to have with their child. You should understand your child's thought process and how your child feels about that. Some children or some teenagers aren't even open to the idea of dating. It's still ill for them. And some are eager to jump into that pool. So I feel you should just listen to what exactly is happening. Don't assume it's a relationship. Don't assume what you think they are doing. Just ask and be polite. Don't invade. Otherwise, your child won't
They'll
confide in
close
you. They won't
in.
tell you what you want to know willingly.
Okay, but you do know that as parents we're concerned also, right?
Yes,
We're
I do.
concerned, and I mean, you guys are very open mind, so I am sure you do know that this has been very destructive to a lot of young people as well, right?
Yes,
Okay, so how do we balance it? Knowing
that's
that
why.
it can be destructive, and knowing that we are concerned about your future, because some of these things can quickly progress the way you haven't imagined or thought,
Mm.
through it. It can quickly progress and then it becomes destructive. So, for you as a child, how would you expect your parents to manage their concerns and you not getting into any destructive behaviors?
This is exactly why I said to have conversations with your children, because in order, maybe your child didn't anticipate anything happening from that one silly crush, or yes, whatever it was or is. So you need to have conversations with your children. You need to know what they want out of it and what that special person wants out of it. You should let your child understand your position on it without seeming like a barrier or like a wall. You should try and guide your child where you want your child to go along the right
And
path.
if you notice they're
But
still going off,
then that's when you put your parents' veto power down and you step, like, it's it's something you should it's a decision you should make together, because essentially it is your child who likes someone. It's not a robot you can just switch off.
yes.
So you need to have conversations with your children. You need to know what is going on before you can know where it might potentially go or what it can lead to. So you just need to talk to your children. You need to understand how they feel about dating, and why they feel they want to. Just understand exactly what's going on before you can jump or draw any conclusions.
My very last question to you, then I'll move to Schumann and Gabriel.
Okay.
So at this age, um, why should I know you've talked about raging hormones and all that, but why do you think that it's also okay for teenagers to consider dating? Especially at 14 and
You
not
see, I
18.
feel 18. I've heard that age a lot. I feel people put a lot of pressure on the word dating, and some people
Okay, so what
are
is
not
it?
dating,
What
but
is
they
it?
they will say they are dating. If
Try
you
to
like
explain it
someone,
for me. What is it?
okay,
What is dating
um,
from a 14-year-old's perspective?
um, well, if you say you are going on a date, that's you hanging out or spending time with your um
Your crush.
your crush, or yes, that's what I would say, your crush. So if you know you haven't gone anywhere, you're not doing anything, or you know you like him, he likes you, and you are texting, dating, it's like when if I tell my parents I'm dating right now, they are probably imagining some weird things. But it's it's just conversation. It's just you getting to know the person you like and all that. But to answer your question, why I feel it's okay to date, it's just a relationship. It's something you don't have to put too much stress on. You don't have to worry too much about it unless you feel it's getting out of hand. But it is quite normal whether you call it dating or not. I am sure at some stage in life it will happen, and I feel it's just a way to work on communication skills when you. It's just a way to vent out to someone. I mean, it's nothing too complicated. It's not anything too serious as long as it isn't. I mean, there are some cases where it does get out of hand. Things do happen that people might regret, but I won't say it's okay to date, but I don't think it's like wrong to either.
All right. I have heard you. If you're just tuning in, this is Home Affairs on Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners, and we're having very discerning conversations with, my three teen friends. I'm talking to Janice, Amwa, Gabriel, Nati, and Shrimanja. They are all from the DPS International School. Now, let me come to you, Shriman, before I come to Gabriel. Um, 14 years for a young man who has exams on his mind and all that. Crushes and dating and relationship, is that part of the things we think about too?
No, I find that very distracting, and I've seen friends in my class going through that stage, and I find that it is not good for someone of a young age as mine to be doing to have date and all of that. It is right now we are not as matured as we think we are, so I find that we should not um, date or do any such activities, and I am strictly against such things because I find them very distracting, and especially when I have an aim of getting good scores in my IGs, I don't think it is right for me to be doing such stuff.
So you don't have a crush,
No,
but you have female friends.
yes, in my class, yes.
Okay, and you disapprove of young people your age who, have emotional attachment somehow to other people.
Yes,
Your parents disapprove of it too.
yes,
Do you have older siblings?
no,
Okay.
I'm the
So,
only
but
child.
have you had these conversations with your parents before?
Yes, quite a number of times. They have told me about the side effects of it and how it can actually affect my education, my social life, to some extent reputation, because I have had some friends who have gone in, um, whose reputation is no more in school. They are seen to be bad people in school.
I see.
And I think that it is not good for someone which of my age, because you are now getting to an age when you have exams and all of this, and such thoughts will come, but you should learn how to forego them. You have to learn how to not take them into consideration. The second they come, you should just leave it.
Until what age would you say it's okay to start considering it?
I would say after school.
After school, for you next year, so 15.
No, 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 no. I am in 10, so I will go to the higher education then. Like, so after 3 or 4 years, I make
Okay.
think people are then matured enough.
Okay. That's interesting. Very interesting. How about you, Gabriel?
For me, I was actually quite surprised when I remember I think my sister was telling me something about like I was surprised people talk to their parents about someone they like or something like that. I was actually really surprised because it's not that I don't feel like I can talk to my parents that oh I have a crush on somebody or something like that. It's not for me. It's not that serious. So I won't feel the need to have that awkward conversation, especially since it's not even that my parents would freak out or anything. But if anything, I would talk to my mother, of course. But um, she would ask, so she would make me uncomfortable. She would ask so many questions. Oh, so do you da 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 da? And I personally I don't picture myself dating anybody. I guess one because of my focus and stuff like that. But I also find it a bit. Okay, you can like somebody. There's nothing wrong with liking somebody or seeing traits in somebody and like, oh, I like this, 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 this. But um, let's go on a date. Da, 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 da. I don't. Sorry for the use of that, but I don't see myself doing that. I also don't. What I also don't like is how what Shima said about reputation. When I feel like there's some sort of stigma around people. I think young people dating too, which shouldn't be there because they create this whole oh so now you're bad you have a boyfriend blah blah blah. So I don't, even though I personally wouldn't do it, I don't see how it is necessary to shame somebody or decide that they are less of a person, etc., because they have a boyfriend and you suddenly imagine that they are not responsible, they are doing bad things, they're engaging in carnal activities, because that is not always the case. So I wish parents, not my parents personally, but I wish more parents would be more open to talking about it so that um, maybe their children wouldn't feel that they need to engage in such activities. And if they are even thinking about it or they decide, okay, I'm ready, they will feel okay to have that conversation rather than having them suddenly shut down. No, no, no. And one, also, a big thing for me, how framed, I got in this frame of mind was my sister because she would always talk about how she wouldn't say it was particularly distracting, or we wouldn't say it in such explicit terms, but there's this understanding we have come to that we don't I don't know, you don't go overboard or you don't change your whole life for somebody because it can get very overwhelming. You feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in love, blah blah blah, and you're going to leave your whole everything. So sometimes I can see people getting distracted in class, etc. It will be on your mind. So you can have a crush on somebody, but you need to begin with the end in mind, keep focused, and remember there's a reason you're in school, you're learning. So keep your goals in mind and don't date somebody for the sake of dating, saying, "Oh, I have a boyfriend now." Don't put yourself in a situation you aren't ready for, and don't be stigmatizing or don't be judgmental of the people who decide to do that, because it's either they decided they are ready for it, they've had that conversation, or they just want somebody to talk to, which is oftentimes the case. They want somebody to talk to, somebody to be closer to, because they don't feel such connection as with their friends, etc. And it's also I feel like some people think of it as a flex to have a boyfriend. Like, oh, this is my man, blah, blah, blah.
I
I'm
see.
14. I don't need a man, but I don't think everybody thinks like that. So there are different personality types, and we also need to stop being so judgmental of other people when it comes to dating and being a teenager.
So you personally don't have a crush on anybody at 14, right?
I don't know if I would say I have a crush or don't have a crush.
Or you don't like anybody in that way at 14?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say I don't, and I wouldn't say I do.
How so?
So it's like I have somebody I would admire, etc., but I wouldn't think of the person as my boyfriend or that I like the person. Or,
In that way.
yeah, my aunties are going to ask me so many questions about this after this.
I would want to know what she will ask you. And so for you, at what age do you think it's appropriate to probably want to open up and start considering this?
I wouldn't say age I wouldn't say at what age rather than what level of maturity
you will have to reach.
Yeah, and my current situation, like whether I'm right about to go into IGs. Because another thing is during exams, the most random things come into my mind. I don't know why. I'll be sitting there writing an exam and be thinking about a song I heard last week. So if I have somebody, any song, like everything comes into my mind during the exam. So I have to like really work hard to focus. So if I decide, okay, I'm ready, I can't have such a situation when I am about to do something serious or about to get into, something I need complete focus. And I think that's because I'm not mature enough or at the stage in my life where I feel the need to have a significant other.
Without Calvary, there's only one God. That's our God. There's no one.
There's always so much to learn when you have conversations with teenagers, young people.
They try and hide the stain, but they can't.
And I am really learning a lot.
See where we
I will be getting into your messages in just a bit, and then we will activate the phone lines as well.
one God. That's our God. There's no one like you.
But right about now, I'd like to share some COVID-19 tips with you.
They try and hide the stain, but they can't. But can they set us free? See where we
And this has to do with your hands, surfaces, and groceries. So wash your hands frequently and carefully with soap and water. Rewash your hands several times a day, especially after touching anything including your phone or laptop. Use hand sanitizer when you cannot wash your hands properly. Wash fresh groceries. Clean and disinfect surfaces such as countertops, door handles, furniture, toys, laptops, mobile phones with alcohol-based sanitizers or disinfectants, if you like. And always milk just got exciting with Dano Milk. Dano Milk has 3 extra amazing powdered milk flavors to its plain milk, and they come in chocolate, strawberry, and coffee. Beyond being creamy and tasty with pleasant and natural aroma, they are healthy and nutritious, and that help you to grow strong mentally and physically. Get your favorite flavor at 1 Ghana cedi only for the 40-gram sachet and serve with cold, warm, or hot water. Dano Milk, strength comes from within.
Without Calvary, there's only one God.
And Ghana Education Service and PMC, in collaboration with Joy Prime, presents the Onga Cook Arts National Competition 2020. Which school can own the bragging right as the best cook? We phased it off in the regional selection competition and made it to the national competition. Watch your alma mater battle it out for the national crown at the 2nd edition of the Onga Cook Arts Competition from the 17th to the 20th of September 2020, live on Joy Prime. Watch highlights of the selection stage on Thursday, 17th September at 3:30 p.m. Quarterfinals on Friday, that was yesterday. If you didn't see it, then you missed it. And the grand finale will be on Sunday, tomorrow, 20th September at 3:30 p.m. The Onga Cook Art is brought to you by Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Lexta Ghana, producers of Yaz, and Trillium Industrial Company, producers of Planet Dream. One more time, thanks to Dano Milk. Strength comes from within for sponsoring Home Affairs. We will be right back.
One Ghana cedi pay. Enjoy your Dano Milk and be strong. This advert is vetted and approved by the FDA.
One Ghana cedi, one Ghana cedi. Sunlight bar soap. Now one Ghana cedi only. Grab yours now. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA. Thank you. Some may worship things, but what joy do they bring? They try and hide the stain, but they can't. But can they set us free? See where will we be? Without Calvary, there's only one God.
Now, this one says, great conversation, Joy. I really love Janice's point. She's been very realistic. I'm very grateful for this program. This is from Esther. Esther, thank you very much.
But can they set us free? See where will we be? Without Calvary, there's only one God. That's our God. There's no one like you.
His ideal age is 21, 25 when you get your first job after schooling. Okay, this is from Samira in Adenta.
Calvary, there's only one God. That's our God. There's no one like you. Some may worship things, but what joy do they bring?
Hi, Adam. Beautiful conversation. Amazing, intelligent teens. Wow. May God help them to remain focused on their education. I'm really overwhelmed. This is from Nina in Sakumono.
There's only one God. That's our God. There's no one like you. Some may worship things, but what joy do they bring? They try and hide the stain, but they can't.
Let me quickly chip in this birthday dedication. I wish my wife, Lieutenant Colonel Cynthia Adiasani, a happy birthday. She is such an amazing woman, and I thank God for giving her to me. She has indeed lightened my world. I pray God will continually bless her. This is from Lawyer Francis Adiasani. So, Lawyer Francis, I sent your message across to your wife.
Where will we be? Without Calvary, there's only one God. That's our God. There's no one like you. Some may worship things, but what joy do they bring? They try and hide the stain, but they can't.
Okay, so to you, Joy Emerald Aseye Ajonyako, happy birthday to you. You just turned 4 today, and this is from your entire family. They live in Tema Community 7. Unfortunately, they didn't add names to it. But then, Joy Emerald Aseye Ajonyako, happy birthday to you.
Without Calvary, there's only one God. That's our God. There's no one like you.
So phone lines we will activate now on 0244340437.
But they can't.
Contributions and thoughts. I wouldn't want anybody to call in to judge. These young ones I am speaking with, they're young people speaking their minds, just so you and I as parents can know what go on in their minds.
But what joy do they bring? They try and hide the stain.
So when you call, please no condemnation, no judges. I won't have it on their behalf.
Without Calvary, there's only one God. That's our God. There's no one like you.
Okay, so I said we were going to now talk about school, online school, and what you guys have been up to. It's been how many months? From March, I think. So March, April, May, June, July, August, we're in September. That's like 6 months. What have you people been doing with your lives at home? Online school takes a break sometimes. You don't go out often. You don't see your friends quite often. At least for some time, everybody was, locked down and all that. How has life been like? How has this impacted your life, and how has your life changed? Have you learned any new skills and all that? Let me start with you, Gabriel.
I picked my guitar back up. I was learning, and then I got bored of theory, so I stopped. So I picked it back up. So I'm still not excellent because I'm learning from YouTube, but I started that again. I wrote more because I like to write. I wrote a few. I was trying to write a short story, but then I forgot about it. So I was just writing a few essays, sort of detailing my experience. I started to write an autobiography, but I also just let that run. So I just started with a lot of new things. I continued reading because I like to read, even though I only read one book, and I'm still reading the second book, so I didn't read that much. I watched a lot of TV. I used my phone quite a bit, but I also was able to stop when I needed to, which was something I'm actually quite proud of, because before, during the school term, my sister would have to take my phone away before Monday when we were going to school because it was quite distracting. So I learned to have more self-control and to take care of myself, not be on my phone all day, etc. So that's what I did with the time.
With the time. Everybody is hoping that maybe by January things will get better and then we get back to school, right? Do you miss, that physical interaction you have with your friends, your colleagues back in school, and how badly do you want that back? How has your social life been impacted? Oh,
I was surprised how much I missed going to the classroom, because I went to school to get some of my books, and I went to the classroom, and I missed just sitting there being around like my classmates. And I wouldn't talk much at school and stuff like that because I would usually on my way to be more social. So I was surprised because I thought I would enjoy it, like being at home in my own space, but I actually did miss going to school. What I don't miss, however, is, the waking up, getting up early, waiting for the bus to come, and having to hustle and get to school, all of that, and having to have like lunch at school. So it's more convenient to be at home, except when the Wi-Fi kind of decides to misbehave, and then you're out of your class, and it's a bit harder to pay attention sometimes because you are on your device, so you have to separate socials and then actual work. And for my social life, I don't think it has been impacted greatly.
Okay.
I still talk to most of my friends. I don't keep up with them. I don't talk to them every day, but I do sometimes make an effort to talk to them, FaceTime them sometimes, and
all
catch
right.
up.
Great. How about you, Shriman? Okay, Shriman, before you come in, I have a call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Adam.
Yeah.
For starters, let me say I've been blown away by these intelligent teenagers. Are you sure they are 14?
They wouldn't lie.
Are they not, the 14, is it not their football ages?
They wouldn't lie.
Wow. I'm a father of 4, and this is a reality check for me. If at age 14 they are discussing absolutes, they know what absolutes are.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I really have to learn. In fact, the reality check for me, it's the picture they've painted. It's, I wouldn't say scary.
You had a rude awakening.
Yes, a rude awakening of what I actually don't know yet.
Yeah.
I really have to learn a lot.
Sure.
Luckily for me, the oldest will be 8 this year.
Okay.
And so I think I have a lot of room. I have to go back and learn.
Exactly.
Absolute at age 14. Oh, my.
All right, John. Thank you very much. That's what this conversation is supposed to do. But I am being told that a live wire from the main electric pole at Coca-Cola roundabout, that's around Casapreco Junction, has fallen off on a bunch of iron rods being retailed close by. I'm also learning that it's kind of raining there, so this could be dangerous. So ECG, please be informed and let's do something about it. Thank you. This is Joy FM Radio for discerning listeners. I have Nana on the line. Hello, Nana. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Meanwhile, I'm so happy this morning. You know why?
Tell me.
I see myself in their shoes when I was growing up. I mean, at age 14, I knew so much, just like them, just like they are speaking. So while they are speaking and I'm listening, I'm like, this is so me. This was so me when I was at 14.
Yeah.
You know, things has changed, and that's what we should understand. I mean, I'm not sure back then at 14 you will be privy to some of these things or even can speak like they are speaking right now. I think that generation ended and it started with us when I was 14 back then, because you grew very fast, not just in the book but in the head, in the brain, maturely, and at a very younger at that age you are able to know these things and being able to possess it. I mean, come on, it's beautiful. So I think parents should understand that things has changed. So they should also change the way they do things and approach issues like this in a different way. Me, I'm very happy and so fortunate that when I was going through that, I had a parent, especially my mom, who understood some of these things, and they really, really gave me the chance. And I'm grateful for that, and they should keep it up. I'm very, very happy for them.
Great.
I mean, they are looking at things from different perspectives. You know, that's how the thing is. Things comes in different perspectives, and that's how the issues has been approached. And I'm very, very grateful for that.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sherman, we were talking about, online school, lockdown, you guys being home and all that. How has this impacted your life?
It has impacted me both positively and negatively.
Okay.
Let's come to the positive aspect first. It has unveiled a hidden interest of mine, which is into graphic, video, and website development. And also, I have got the opportunity to know my parents better. There were some things I never knew my parents could do or were interested in.
I see.
And then I also got a very interesting experience. Sometimes when I just go to my bed and I think about it, and I'm actually very grateful to God that He brought internet before this pandemic, because I don't know how life would be without internet. I sometimes think about how in the 1918 flu people were living, especially children who were going to school, having fun, and without anything to do. I usually think about that. And for the negative aspect, virtual learning, I think, is not as efficient as physical learning, because you don't get that personal relationship with the teacher. And most of the time in many classes there are technical problems. Someone's mic is not working, someone's camera, someone's internet. There are always problems like this. So the virtual learning has been positive and negative. And also the virtual learning, it is very distracting. You are on the internet. It's one of the best and the worst creations of mankind, the internet, because you are so easily distracted by the stuff you can do on the internet. You can be just sitting there and a message will pop up from your friend. Hi, and then you don't know whether I should go to the class or I should message hi. You are usually confused on what I should do because it's it's there's a whole lot you can do on the internet, and the virtual learning has also helped me understand on certain issues on how to tackle them. Right now, if we have a pandemic in the future, I don't want that to happen. But if we have a pandemic in the future, I think that we will be much more organized than how we were in this pandemic. It has really been a life lesson for all of us who went through this pandemic.
Great, great, wow. And do we have anybody on the line? Esther is on the line. Hi, Esther.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Esther.
I'm very happy about the program. But there's something I would like to add. Parents should know that it's just actually a different time now. And the kids have said it all. They need to understand that they should engage their children more. And this doesn't happen one day. It takes time. So as you are training up your children, you are talking to them, you are telling them your expectations, what you expect of them, you are passing on your values. A parent who has not been doing this all these years cannot wake up at 15 and say, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. That is when the children also get rebellious. You understand?
Yes.
So parents should take it easy and know that I tell my kids that as much as people say you should be friends with your children, I'm not your friend. I'm your parent. That means that you should come to me with things that you are not happy about or you are happy. I'm game. But like the lady was saying, it's not everything that you can tell your parents. I have been a child before, and I know that I wouldn't do that.
Great.
So parents should know that. Also, academics, it's okay for us to let our children rise and shine and everything. But everybody is different, and that balance is key.
Great.
Instead of doing all academics and not know anything on how to do things to even make your life balance is key.
Sure.
So they should train up their children to have a balance. Thank you
very much, Esther. Thank you. Now let me come to you, Janice. How has the pandemic impacted your life?
It has given me time to reflect on small things like bus rides and going out, seeing strangers do some strange things on the road. It has made me understand and appreciate the little things in life. Going out, even the hawkers, you begin to miss the little things, the things that used to annoy you. But at the same time, it has been it gets boring. But my family, we spend a lot of time together. It gives us more time to bond. We watch Come Down With Me, we watch Date Rush, we would watch TV together, we play Voodoo, we play Connect Four. But it has given us more time to sort of argue, to step on each other's nerves, and that is a little more frequent than I would like. But it has also given me time to work on my spiritual well-being, like my relationship with God, taking reading the Bible more seriously, and praying more regularly, trying to get closer to God. And it has also given me time to develop certain interests that I had already realized I was interested in. I don't know if you understand. I really like to write, so I've been writing more.
Great.
I love photography, so hopefully I'll get a camera and then you could take that off the list. But there's a lot of things I've involved myself in, and I've realized that not everything is about school. Yes, school is a main priority, but school alone won't keep you alive. You have to learn some basic things: how to cook, how to clean, how to change a light bulb. Some certain things you have to learn, and you have to also put a lot of effort into extracurricular activities. I understand that most parents feel like everything should be on standby. School is the number one priority, but you can go to school and get a degree in business and end up being a doctor. I mean, not everything you do in school would determine who you turn out to be. It wouldn't determine your career, not necessarily. So I feel we should branch out to other things, gather experience, which is another reason why I was quite interested in this program. Is just to touch base on a lot of things so that you can figure out what works for you, what you are good at, and make something out of it. And not everything is about math and English and history. You have to know what you find interest in and be able to work towards it.
And this conversation with you guys has been very, very, very amazing. Trust me. We're just about going, but I'll give us 30 seconds each. Your very final words to parents and teenagers like you out there. I'll start with you, Shriman. Just 30 seconds.
I would like to tell my teenagers that the secret of success is never to procrastinate. I think that the thing of getting front is to start. Once you start, that's the thing you can use to become the best. And also, the second thing I would like to tell my teenage friends and people is that you have to learn how to respect not only your parents but everyone.
Great.
A relationship is built by mutual respect and understanding. So you should always try to understand what the person in front of you feels. And the person in front, if you do that, the person in front will also understand what you feel.
Great. So I'm timing you out now. Thank you very much. Then, Gabrielle.
Thank you guys for having me. To the parents, I would just say try and know your children, get to know them, observe them, talk to them. And to the teenagers, I would like to say take care of yourself, be focused, concentrate. School isn't everything, but you should also work hard to make sure you are doing the bare minimum and focus on your interests. And don't focus on only the negative things, but try and pull positive things from the people around you and make sure you have a stable support system. Because when you are down, the friend who wasn't very nice to you won't be the one you go to. So make sure you have good friends around you, good people around you, and you are able to communicate with the people you love about certain things.
Sweet. And finally from you, Janice.
I'd like to thank Joy FM for this experience. It's been very interesting. To all the parents listening, I'd like to say that you shouldn't treat your children like endangered species. You should treat them with, respect. You have to learn to listen and understand things from their point of view. And the children as well need to put themselves in their parents' shoes and look at things from their perspectives as well.
Thank you all very much, Janice Amwa, Gabrielle Nate, and Shrimanja. Thank you very much for making our morning. We have picked up and learned so much from you. We should do this again, shouldn't we?
We should. It was
okay, great. We will find time to do it again, but thank you very much. And thank you all for doing the listening. The Weekend City Show is up next, and then the rest of our programs will continue. Newsfile is at 9. At 12, you have Sports Link, and then Showbiz will come up. So stay tuned in to the rest of our programs. Bye-bye for now.
Where will we be without Calvary?